It was a typical Friday night when I was door dashing after my college classes. I usually did this on weekends to cover my living expenses, but something about this night felt different. The evening began with several low-paying orders, not worth the effort. After an hour, I got a better-paying request, though the location seemed odd. It was 8 miles away, but it paid decently compared to the other offers. Without much thought, I accepted it, picked up the food from the restaurant, and started driving. The GPS estimated a 30-minute drive, the longest delivery I'd ever taken. At first, the drive was normal, passing houses and small streets. But after about 20 minutes, the surroundings changed. Open fields stretched endlessly, with no houses in sight. Only rows of crops waved in the breeze. The stillness of the area made me uneasy, but I brushed it off and kept driving. Finally, I spotted a house that matched the delivery address. The place looked isolated and worn, but the porch light was on, making it seem like someone was home. I parked my car on the dirt road, grabbed the bag, and walked through the overgrown grass toward the front door. The air felt thick with an unnatural silence, broken only by the faint hum of my car engine behind me. Knocking on the door, I waited. Nothing. I knocked again, harder this time, still no answer. Taking a closer look, I noticed the windows were broken and the wood rotting. The house appeared abandoned despite the light outside. Curiosity turned to dread as I realized the light was likely solar-powered, automatically turning on at dusk. The thought sent chills down my spine. Just as I was piecing things together, I heard the crunch of gravel behind me. I turned to see a car pulling up next to mine. Its headlights stayed on, illuminating the house, but no one stepped out. I shouted from the porch, asking if it was their order. No response. The driver just stood next to the car, motionless and silent. Anxiety gripped me as I realized how dangerous the situation was. Here I was, in the middle of nowhere, with a stranger silently staring me down. My instincts kicked in. Dropping the delivery bag, I bolted around the side of the house into the field. The man gave chase, his footsteps heavy and fast. The tall grass scratched my arms and legs as I ran, my breath coming in short, panicked gasps. I didn't stop until the field became too dense for anyone to follow. Hiding among the crops, I tried to stay silent. My heart pounded in my ears as I strained to hear any sign of pursuit. After what felt like hours, I found a dirt road and ran until I collapsed. Eventually, a passing car spotted me and the driver called the police. When they arrived, the man and my car were gone. Oddly, the delivery bag was still on the porch, untouched. It was clear the man's intentions went far beyond robbery. This terrifying experience reminded me of another unsettling moment from when I was 18 and driving to college for the first time. It was a 600-mile journey, split over 2 days. By 7 p.m., the sun had set and the highway stretched endlessly under a dark sky. Around 10 p.m., I stopped at a remote gas station to fill up. The place was eerily deserted with only a small convenience store lit dimly in the distance. As I pumped gas, a man approached me. He looked to be in his 50s, disheveled and possibly homeless. His small smile sent a shiver down my spine. "Need something?" I asked, keeping my voice steady. He stopped a few feet away, his eyes darting around nervously. "Get back on the highway," he said, pointing toward the exit I had just passed. His tone was urgent, almost pleading. Confused, I hesitated. The exit he pointed to was a one-way road leading the wrong direction. Ignoring him, I finished pumping gas and got back into my car. From my rearview mirror, I saw him sitting on the curb, muttering to himself. As I drove toward the highway, I noticed something odd. The street lights were off, and the ramp seemed unnaturally dark. I slowed down, unsure if it was safe. Suddenly, a pickup truck appeared out of nowhere, blocking my path. 4 men jumped out, armed with knives and metal pipes. They sprinted toward my car with cold, emotionless expressions. Panic surged through me as I reversed sharply, narrowly avoiding them. That's when I saw more figures emerging from the sides of the road, dozens of them all running toward my car. I turned the wheel hard, speeding back toward the gas station. When I was far enough away, I called 911. Strangely, the call never connected. It felt like no one was listening, like the world had momentarily forgotten I existed. Looking back, I think the man at the gas station was trying to warn me. He may have saved my life, but I'll never know what those men planned to do or how many others they might have caught that night.